Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Chillin' for Our Lives. I'm your host, ElectricityWave, and I am joined today with Stadium Beats. But before we start the episode off, we're going to go into our Apple 5-star review. This week is from Chali. I think that's Spanish. Thank you for the 5-star review. Chali says, I want more of this, and other people will too. This podcast is one of the few I look forward to listening every week. Mike and Sean always bring something fresh and interesting to the table that just grabs your attention. There's never a dull moment with these two, as they always bring their own perspective of each topic at hand. I highly recommend grabbing some snacks and listening to this awesome duo talk about gaming and anything else in between that you can think of. They also take questions or suggestions and implement them in the following podcasts. Such a huge fan. Forever a supporter. Thank you, Shali. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That's a review and a half right there.
That was, I lost my breath. I needed a checkpoint in the middle of that one. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Really quick, for both of you, what's a good podcast snack? Because they said to grab a snack and turn on the pod. What's a good snack?
Smart food cheddar popcorn.
Yeah, I was gonna say popcorn too. Okay.
Yeah, popcorn's a good ansser. I'm good with that.
All right. So yeah, thank you, Shali, for the 5-star review. If you guys want to submit those Apple Podcasts reviews, 5 stars helps the podcast out. So thank you so much. We'll read them out in the next episode whenever we do receive them. Today's episode is episode 71, and today we have a very special guest. We've been wanting to have him on for quite some time now. He's been killing the game on YouTube, TikTok, and stream on Twitch. His name is Ukena. He's a content creator, streamer, YouTuber, etc. He has that meme style content. He's been diving in the Pokemon game, and I love what I see from him. And we're happy to have him on. Welcome in, Ukena. It's good to have you, brother. It's good to have you.
Holy shit, it's so good to be here. Thank you for the introduction. Holy shit.
Of course, man. Like, I feel like we've known each other for probably... I honestly don't remember how we met, because usually I feel like I remember, but with you, it might have been through Twitter or...
Pretty sure it's always been through Twitter. I think I followed you at one or like early on when I first started.
Oh yeah, it was.
And then I think I was in your. I always came and hang out in your chat as a lurker a lot, and eventually just started talking.
I do remember that actually. I remember when I first started talking to you through stream. I was like, this guy's so nice. Like, I mean, everyone on Twitch is pretty chill, but some people stick out more than others. But it's good to finally talk to you. This is the first time we've talked in voice since we've known each other, and sometimes scheduling happens, content creation, you know how it gets, just constant go. You have a million people you want to meet and talk to daily. You have your community to take care of, content to plan out. Like, it gets crazy. But today we're gonna try to get into the mindset of you, kind of what makes him and pretty much just see like what you're interested in, and I don't know, just kind of learn more about you, because the people of the podcast, this is their first time probably meeting you. So, we're going to
talk about Nintendo a little bit too.
Everybody loves
Nintendo. I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, we don't have to start there. We don't have to, but we can talk about Nintendo a little bit.
If you want, we can start into it, because they have the Direct tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you can if you want to. Have you heard about? I mean, it sounds like you've heard about this. You want to kick us off here?
So we haven't had an actual Nintendo Direct since 2019. This is the very first. So we've had minis and we've had showcases, but we haven't had a full-size Direct since 2019.
Damn.
So it's huge.
Damn, you're right.
To finally have something like this, like, because E3 got canceled, we didn't get like a really full E3 experience.
No.
And then all throughout last year, they were just small showcases or just dedicated to single things. Like, so this is like the first time, and it's before Pokemon Week, which is next week, which is all of the, we're in the 25th anniversary of Pokemon right now. Yeah. So it's going to be some crazy stuff. I'm really excited.
You think so? We got 50 minutes of information coming focused on games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and games coming to Nintendo Switch in the first half of 2021. So that's excited. That's soon, because first half, that means that everything should be coming out within the next three and a half months.
Yeah. Wow. New DLC characters are always exciting. I'm hard calling like Bayonetta 3 information, because we've been waiting on that for so long, dude.
I think that game, there's no way that game comes out in the first half of this year, though, right?
You never know. They've been pretty quiet about a lot of things last year. Plus,
I'm just saying, temper your expectations.
Oh, fair.
If they're Bayonetta 3, I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to be a heartbreaker, but I'm just trying to keep
being
everyone
realistic.
expectation. Yes, there you go.
Because like Metroid 4, it would be like idealist, but they just put out a thing last year about how they're not even remotely close. I think they scrapped their project or something.
Wow.
They're hiring new people.
Yeah, that game's development seems to be pretty rough. Mm-hmm. I just like to try to temper expectations because people are expecting like Metroid 4, we get a trailer, the game's out tomorrow kind of thing. Like that's not gonna happen.
I think we'll get something Zelda related, probably like a Skyward Sword port, because it's also the 25th anniversary or 35th anniversary of Zelda this year.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting something like that, or maybe a 3D collection. So like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, maybe like Wind Waker would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
I personally want them to stop beating around the bush with the Earthbound series and just giving us it on the SNES Virtual Console. But I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, why is that? Why is Mother 3 such a huge... Like, why do you think it's such a huge deal that they just refuse to do anything about?
The dialogue and the topics in the game are pretty weird, especially at least Earthbound. Like Mother 2. I mean, one of the main villains, not main villains, but one of the bosses, you fight the KKK essentially.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they get really heavy in their topics for like a 16-bit, 8-bit RPG. So I'm not really
At least
surprised.
you fight the KKK and you don't like join them or something.
That's true. I mean, they kidnapped a little girl, so yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude. The old Mother games are really they're really a blast. They're really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played an Earthbound game before, and I'm just finding out that Ness is from Earthbound.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I need to catch up on my Nintendo knowledge. Apparently.
Hey man, to be fair, without Smash Bros, he'd be a very forgotten character.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't done anything with Earthbound in ever.
No, there was a sequel or I don't know if it was a sequel or a remake of Earthbound they planned on doing for the GameCube back in the day, but it ended up getting canceled. And there's screenshots that float around the internet. It had like a ragdoll look to it. It's really cool looking.
What a great console the GameCube was.
Oh my god.
So cute.
It really was.
That system was my childhood.
Same. Every single day I go to my cousin's house and hop on the purple GameCube. It was that was my childhood too. It was the best days.
Do you have real quick? Can you give us one character prediction for Smash Bros. DLC?
I want Eggman, dude. Everybody's talking about it on Twitter, and it makes sense. Dr. Eggman from the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ooh, yes.
Because their theme so far is that, heroes and villains. They got King K. Rool, we got Sephiroth, we got, obviously Bowser, all that jazz, but we don't have Sonic's villains, any of them. And he's also the only rep from his game. So
that's true too.
Dr. Eggman would be sick. Of course, I would love an Earthbound villain, but that'll never happen. But yeah, no. I mean, aside from that, I'm hard calling. I feel like we'll finally get the Kingdom Hearts series on the Switch.
You think so?
I hope so. They just put it on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through Epic
it is
Games.
actually very possible.
Yeah, I could see it.
So, and they did eventually get it on Xbox now, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I kind of I don't know. I played the Kingdom Hearts. I didn't play all the 29 games they had for it, including mobile, but I played the 1-2 remake, and then I played 3. And I kind of wish I got to play them on PC, but I don't know if it'd be that much different. It'd just be a little bit of optimization and frame. I don't know.
I'm just looking forward to mods.
Yeah,
the modding community. Crazy. They're gonna get crazy with that shit, dude. You're gonna see anime characters. It's gonna be wild.
That's gonna be some great YouTube content.
Yep. Kingdom Hearts modded, dude.
Mm-hmm. Considering how old the first 2 games are, playing them on PS4 probably pushes them just about as hard as you can. I'd assume.
Yeah.
Playing on PC, I don't think would make it too much of a different experience. I don't think.
I was hoping for ray tracing in Kingdom Hearts 1 remake.
With mods, bro, I could see it.
Yeah, that game has such a huge and super hardcore fan base. I 100%. Bet like mods for it, like if it's, I don't know, it's Epic Game Store exclusive, at least at the start. So I don't know if that hurts the ability to mod it or whatever. I don't know how that kind of thing works, but it seems to be they would really be able to do anything they want with it, and they probably will do anything they want with it.
Yeah, I think also seeing like a meta-human version of like, because I fucked up everything I said. But what I was trying to say is, because I was thinking like 5 different thoughts. But last week we talked about the meta-humans thing, and it's gonna be really cool to see when they start developing like video game characters, like seeing a meta-human version of Sora or a meta-human version of like Ash Ketchum. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be sick to see like how realistic they can get with those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Nintendo Direct. What time is it supposed to start?
I think PST it's 2 at 5 EST for East Coast.
Ooh. Yes. Okay. Yep.
I'm really pumped. Gonna be live streaming the whole thing, dude. Those events always get me so excited.
Yeah,
and super exciting.
Yeah, and I think considering its length and the fact that it is the first actual Direct, I think like it's okay to get hyped up a little bit. Like there's got to be something, like something pretty big time, I would say.
I love all the theory crafting and the rumors. Those are always my favorite parts. Like people like looking at who's retweeting and liking the tweets. Like one of the directors of Platinum Games liked it. That's why people are speculating Bayonetta 3. And it's like, how much of a reach is that, you know? But
it's so much power that person holds.
It's crazy.
They could totally just troll so hard, you know. They could just so easily just like
I would do that.
I would too.
Nintendo with a winky face or something.
Yeah,
just totally send everyone in a frenzy with one word. It's crazy.
Yeah, they could tweet like something insane, and they could say like tomorrow and put like a picture of something that everyone wants, and then the next day they're just like, I just wanted to say that I like this game, or something stupid. So.
Yeah, do literally anything.
Well, I also wanted to get into like your YouTube if we're done with Nintendo Direct for now.
Yeah.
How the one thing that I really realized when I looked at your YouTube is I get big Ludwig vibes, and I don't know if that's on purpose or if it's just a coincidence. I know you know of Ludwig, but what do you get your inspiration from when it comes to YouTube ideas? And then your titles are also like very unique and similar or memey.
So I've actually tried branching away from the Ludwig stuff recently. I actually got critiqued by him on his live stream last year in August. Yeah, he kind of just hit me while I was down. Flamed me for being a copycat the whole 9 yards.
Really?
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt.
Yeah.
So I kind of at that moment realized that you know what, like I gotta do more. I gotta do different things. I gotta find out what I want to do. Because for the longest time I thought that like that style of content was what I wanted, and it still is. But I gotta figure out a way to put my own genuine spins and twists on it without, I guess, seeming like a copycat. But yeah, no, I mean, I take a lot of inspiration from him. I take a lot of inspiration from Jay Schlatt too.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys watch him at all. He's a little bit more on the crude humor side and can get a little weird sometimes, but overall his stuff's pretty funny. And then somebody I've been watching since I was young, not really, I mean like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, was A Drive. He's a Pokemon creator for shiny hunts and stuff. And more so recently than ever, I've kind of thought of like, okay, rather than just taking inspiration from one person, I wanted to do like, I want to, you know, find a way to take my favorite creators, but also throw myself into the mix. That's what I've been doing in my most recent stuff.
Yeah, that's what they say the best thing to do is to, Ludwig actually did like a streamer course thing, and he was saying to take like your 5 favorite YouTubers, content creators, streamers, and try to emulate what they do, but also adding your own twist, like you said, like what you're trying to do right now. So I think that's a really good approach to take. And it seems like it's working. I mean, when I see your content, it always looks clickable to me. Like every time I see it could be the most random thing. Like when you put something about League of Legends or Ukena with a Kirby thumbnail, like it makes no sense and it might not be searchable, but it's like, it kind of makes you want to click it. So when it comes to like YouTube thumbnails and just like learning about YouTube, do you mainly experiment a lot, or do you do research, or do you do a mix? Like, how do you learn about YouTube?
For me, it's kind of just been what I have the most fun doing. Like I to be honest with you, I don't really like look too deep in analytics or like what words are good to use or like titles and stuff like that. I kind of just like I think this looks good. I want to run with this. This title would pull me in, and then I'll like send it to a few people, say, hey, what do you think of this combination? And they'll either give me critiques or not. And then I'll probably run with it most of the time. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I just go for like what I find funny or what I find clickable, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because most of the time people are probably never going to search me. So I just want to get like their initial click or their initial thing, whether or not it's through like Twitter or if it's just like through like a command on my Twitch chat or like a TikTok video, you know what I mean?
Right. Do you, when you send your titles out and stuff, is it mostly people like your community or people like your audience, or is it like fellow content creators?
Other creators.
Okay. Yeah, because I always think it's so interesting, especially with YouTube, because as you know, a lot of people in the streaming community, I don't know if it's just lack of like understanding of the platform, or they're not interested, but YouTube is like such a massive opportunity for a creator, and it's really how you can go from, you know, a networking Andy, what they call it, you know, where you're like you're like averaging you know, under 100 somewhere, and then you can like really blow up if you're like dispersing your content on TikToks. YouTube shorts are huge right now. Like I've been looking into those. I've been seeing people post YouTube shorts and just trying to understand that game. But yeah, YouTube is great. You know, you can really experiment with it. It's high production, so it's faster, like entertainment. It's like snappy. 100%. Yeah, so that's the reason I really like YouTube, and I think it's good for creators to experiment with, because with streaming, you're kind of just like laid back. It's like almost like a podcast, conversational. It has its ups and downs and chills and hype moments, but like with YouTube, you really got to come with it, or else, you know, people aren't going to watch or click your video.
Yeah, they won't click. If there's if there's any sort of silence, if there's just not a moment that captures somebody, they click off immediately.
Exactly.
100%. In fact, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to cut off. You're good.
There you go.
Something I've been trying to do a lot for like the last half a year of creating is turn my Twitch streams into a form of like into my recordings.
Yeah.
Because like I want to be able to like produce as much as I can, and the way I can do that without wasting time would to be using my Twitch stream as a live recording and then turn it into a YouTube concept. So
100%.
Like recently I did this thing where if I didn't get a shiny Pokemon in 100 tries, I would eat the world's hottest ramen, right?
Yeah.
And that was my concept. So it took me, I think, 3 streams to get through, and I made a YouTube video out of it.
That's great. It's with like YouTube content, it's really all about the idea. Obviously, you have to execute it, but the idea is where everything starts, and like it's enticing. You just told me the idea, and I was already interested. I was like, damn, does he get it? Like, I want to see him eat that hot ramen. If he doesn't, like, it's hilarious either way. It's hype if you get it.
Yep. I think it's a double win. If I don't get the shiny, I get to eat the ramen. It's content. If I do, that's still hype, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, that you have stakes to your content, so people are gonna watch for either result. Right. And I like that idea. I've been trying to go towards that idea as well, as having more structured content, and you know, having like, I really like how you said you really have your live streams as recording content, because also, you know, it might be a little bit extra effort or thought process, or you might have to prepare streams, but it saves time, it's more effective, and it's entertaining for the audience that's watching you, because you have something to look forward to. Like, you're not just gonna, you know, try to catch shinies. You're gonna like have some stakes to it, and then also you're gonna send like the best parts of that content on YouTube that can be searched and watched, and it's evergreen content, so it's always there. I love it.
And people are invested in the streams because of the stakes. So it's like, it just creates a nice dynamic. I will say though, like, it's hard to like maintain, if that makes sense, because like some days, you know, I just want to hang out with the community and shit like that, whereas other days I've got my like set plan, my set ideas and stuff like that. So I try to keep like a nice little balance between the two. for the most part.
I was gonna say, how often do you try to set a recorded like video in a stream? Like, do you have a set amount of times you want to post a week, or?
Yeah, I try to post twice a week, every week. I used to. Well, I went through a little bit of I tried doing something. I like experimented like a few weeks ago where I uploaded every day for a week.
Yeah.
Just to see how it would affect the channel. Mm-hmm. And nothing crazy from my own experience. And I've kind of noticed that it's much easier on me and my viewers like it much more if I upload twice a week.
Yeah. And you can put more effort into those 2 videos or more effort into the ideas, which might have a higher payoff in the end game, rather than, like they always say, it's better to put out great content once a week or twice a week rather than putting mediocre content out every day.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it's so interesting. Like every time I see like a streamer or creator like really diving into YouTube and putting forth effort, I'm like, they know what's going on, and they know, like, I see that person going places, even if they're not getting the highest numbers, but they're like an actual creator. Like when I call you a content creator, you actually create content. You're not just like a gamer that's on camera, or somebody that's just really good at like networking and just talking to people. Like, yeah, I respect people who can create. That's where the star quality comes from when I see it in people. Like if you can take an original idea, execute it, put in extra effort, and post on these different platforms, because Twitch is, I mean, we know how terrible it is.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's no growth. There's none.
Zero.
You don't grow on it, man. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think that not enough streamers understand that. Yeah. And like it's plastered everywhere. So many people make videos about it. So many people are, shoving that thought down your throat at this point that it's kind of scary that some of these streamers don't understand that. Mm-hmm. Cause like, you know, I was just gonna say, like, Twitch is nothing right now comparatively. Like, it's just a place to hang out with your community, which I love. But like, if you really want to, like, I guess make a difference essentially in the community, or if you want to like really put yourself out there and really start taking like content creation seriously, you really got to start uploading to YouTube. You got to, abuse and use the assets that are out there. Otherwise you're just going to fall behind.
Yeah. Me and Sean would talk about it all the time. On like, I would always say Twitch is the least productive thing I do all day, because you're taking in all the audience that you've accumulated and from every other platform, and you're just hanging with them, which is great. And it's like the point of streaming, but you're not seeing growth from it. All the growth is like off stream.
Yeah, that's why I fully agree with what you just said about how your like biggest time sink would be streaming. Yeah. And that's why I've been trying to make it productive. Yep. And I think that's the way to do it personally. Like, obviously I'm not some big creator or anything, like
not yet.
Well,
I see it. Like,
I appreciate that, man.
When it comes to preparing like an idea, do you just literally, because Mr. Beast said this thing where on his growth to like, his YouTube growth, like his whole journey, he would literally, before bed, he would take a whole hour, like 60 minutes, set down his phone, no TV, no movie, no one around him. And he would just lay there and think about ideas. And as soon as he would think of an idea, he'd write it down. And he did that every single day, like since he started YouTube. And that's like how he would come up with thinking for ideas. What's your process when you're thinking about it? Do you take inspiration from, trends? Do you like mix and match? Do you just sit and think? Like, when do they come to you?
Kind of like at all. Like they just do sometimes. Like there's not like, sometimes I'm like, I like to watch as many things as possible to kind of like soak up as much as I can. But I write a lot of my ideas down on like a notepad on my PC and stuff like that. Like, or like I'll think about like, because right now specifically shiny Pokemon's like my big thing right now, the thing that I really want to do, because just by like kind of searching it up on YouTube or like looking at it, it's like I call it an untapped gold mine. Yeah. Because a lot of the content is the same. Yeah. There's nothing huge in it yet. There's no like creator taking like the fun aspects of shiny hunting and mixing them with other fun things. And like, that's kind of like my goal with the concept is like, I found my niche, which would be shiny hunting. And because it's something I've done since I was younger, I love it. And I want to be able to like show people that it can just be much more than just clicking buttons and being super tedious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like right now, what I do for ideas is I just keep that as my main concept, and I think about stuff that's been done already. I think about things that are trends, like the spicy noodle challenge. Like that's a trend. You don't really see it in that kind of community or in that that thing because who's gonna do it?
Right.
So that's been my mindset with that concept, and like I'll just write down all my ideas on my notepads and stuff like that, and see where I can go from there.
I like that. I think. I saw something similar with Dream, the Minecraft YouTuber, where he like really grew from like his manhunt series and his speed run. Obviously, it was a huge like story, but yeah, I think once you find that untapped gold mine and you just run with it, like if it catches on, it can really catch fire because bigger creators might see you doing that and then they might start in on it. But you were the person that started it,
Another example of that is that what is his name? Noble Luke the Notable. He did the 100 days of hardcore Minecraft and it exploded, and now he's doing like 2,000 days or 3,000 days. But it it exploded so huge on YouTube that so many other creators used that concept in a different light, and it's like it's crazy how many people it's crazy how many videos of that same type there are, and how he's the first one to do it, and that's a lot of people go to him because he's the first.
Yeah, being the pioneer in something is huge. I mean, it works in stocks, it works in trends. Like it's just like a foundation for success if you really understand it. And YouTube is so like interesting to me because it's like a video production social media platform combined. Like you can make whatever you want out of it. You can upload really like low quality Tyler 1 videos and they could be great.
100%.
Yeah, or you can upload like Michael Bay, documentaries where they look like phenomenal and the sound quality is great. So the wide range of variety is just like, it's so interesting to me, and just the algorithm and just understanding how to make a video enticing to a viewer. I think that's the hardest thing. The one thing you said earlier was about like how you try to make a video that you would click on. And I think that's so hard for creators to make because it's hard to put yourself in that position sometimes.
100%. I kind of think I'm a little bit lucky in that aspect because I did art in college. I went to like school for art and stuff. And one of the biggest things that we were taught, and one of the biggest things we had to do was look at our own stuff and be able to identify what's wrong with it. And they taught us that. They taught us like they had this saying where like if you look at something long enough, you're just like you're just going to be used to it. Or if you smell shit long enough, you get used to the smell of shit. That's what they told us. So like he would make us take 25-minute breaks after a session, come back to it, and he'd get us all up in front and say, okay, now critique what you see wrong with your own piece. And ever since I've kind of learned that, that's what I've been just doing with my own stuff. Like if I get done editing a video, I'll sit back, I'll do something else, or I'll leave the room for like an hour, half an hour, and I'll come back, watch it, and high chances I make changes throughout the whole thing.
That's really good advice. I feel like Sean could use that too for music.
Yeah,
like for 100%. Anything creative. Yeah, I definitely could use that. That's super interesting though. I'm gonna have to start doing that. Just like, all right, I gotta leave. Just lock myself out of the room. I can't see it.
No, like literally, it genuinely helps because like you become so used to seeing it or so used to looking at the stuff you already edited or you've already like recorded or whatnot, and you're like, yeah, that's fine. And like when you step away, you come back with like, you're not used to it, of course. Like you've got different eyes essentially, and you sit down, you just go through it all over again, and it's different. You're looking at it differently.
That's awesome. Sean, do you have anything you want to get into?
Not really for YouTube. You guys pretty much covered all of my YouTube questions or thoughts or topics, my YouTube everything basically. But one specific thing I wanted to bring up from YouTube was your video of ranking Pokemon that you can beat in a fist fight. So I assume, that's something that you did on stream that then you turned into YouTube content. So that's kind of, how that ties in there. So how fun how much more fun was it doing something like that on stream and like interacting with chat through that whole process? Do you think it's a lot better to do it that way versus just doing it yourself and then like making it specifically for YouTube?
Honestly, it was insanely way more fun on stream because you had everybody's input. You had a shit ton of jokes being made. Like, I think one of the things was like, I would go even with Machoke in a fist fight because like we're bros. And like, that was just the whole concept. And like, I was getting flamed by my chat and I would like include all that. And it was just like, the dynamic is what personally I thought made it entertaining. Because if it was just me sitting there with like putting every Pokemon on a tier list of who I could beat in a fist fight, I don't know. Like, I feel like the bickering between me and chat is what made that kind of video entertaining.
That's true.
Yeah, like there's a few, like you'd barely beat a pincer in a fight. That'd be an intense fight.
Hey, it's just a fist fight. It's only a fist fight.
True. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying I can imagine the chat would be fun for something like this a lot.
Yeah, no, it was. Like, that's crazy too, because that's why I also think that there's a lot of potential within Twitch, just in the idea for creating content. Because like, the interaction between streamer and chat is literally, it's nowhere else. Yeah. Like, it's not on YouTube unless you're a YouTube streamer, of course, but like in video format, it's nowhere else. Right. So like, encapsulating that and putting it into videos immediately gets people wanting to be there for it.
True.
Yes.
And that's why like I try to include chat in as much as I can. Yeah.
That's super smart. And like having the chat up too on the video so people can see what they're saying is huge.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So it's not just you reading it or something, like they can see it go by. They can see something that makes them laugh. They can catch up. Let's say they are a YouTube viewer. They can still be like privy to all of your inside jokes in your stream. So then if they do decide to go check you out on Twitch, then they already fit right in, and that's cool too.
Yeah. Plus, if I guess if I ever do get big, or like I mean, just look at Ludwig for example. Like, he keeps chat on his thing, and people get excited when they're in the video when they see their name. It's like, oh my god, that's me. I mean, I've been in that situation before. Like, he did a video where he wanted to see what all of his community looked like, and he went through Twitter, and my picture got shown on his stream, and it made it in the YouTube video. And I was like, oh, that's hype. And like, I'm in a Tyler 1 video from when I used to play a lot of League of Legends, and like, I look back on that and think like, yeah, that's so cool. Like, I'm excited about that. I'm in a video. So yeah, I think it.
I see like high YouTube comments a lot in Twitch. Like, if they know that this is the part of the stream that's going on YouTube, you'll see a bunch of like high YouTube on there.
Yeah,
that's
high
funny.
YouTube.
And I always see that too. Like, say like with an Apex stream, someone has a really good game, or like any like battle royale, someone gets a dub or an insane game. Like, you see people typing it already because they just know that's getting posted.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah. I would see that in old Guitar Hero. Well, I guess still now, but Guitar Hero videos is when I first started seeing that. Yeah. Because they would know, like, by the end of the song, if the person still has a full combo. Oh my god! Oh shit! This is the run that's going on YouTube, and then the whole chat is like, "Hi YouTube," because they just know he's about to full combo this song and then upload it. It's great.
Yeah. That's crazy. I would feel like that would be so. I feel like a lot of people probably choked because they look over in the chat and they see hi YouTube. They're like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
that makes it funnier. Yeah, that makes it funnier.
Yeah, because then a trend started of putting a hype part of the video at the very beginning. You know, like instead of doing like an intro or something, they would show like a really hype part to get people's attention, and then kind of do the intro and everything. So then people, at least Guitar Hero people, started doing like chokes and like funny choke reactions and things like that at the start to get people like hooked, and then you do the whole intro and run through the song and everything.
Yeah, I watched a video about like how people start out videos and how they hook people, and it's so interesting, like how you said in the Guitar Hero how they'll add like a super hype part, or like I'll see like an Encourage JD video how they're playing like Call of Duty or Fortnite or something, and it's like a really intense part where like he needs a res or like shit's just going batshit crazy. He's yelling, and then like the screen will like pan in like it looks like a movie where like you have the black bars on top, and then like the music starts playing, there's like a filter on the screen. It's so interesting.
Also, that first part is usually also where their title comes from.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And that's usually the biggest thing that I've always noticed is that they get you at the poll. They give you the title that initially right in the beginning, and then the video pans out and you're just stuck. You watch it anyway.
Dude, I love YouTube. I could talk YouTube all day with people.
Honestly, same.
It's so interesting. It is.
I just love content in general, man. Like this shit is like a genuine passion. I just love it so much.
And seeing like how it affects people too is huge.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit can change your life overnight. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Like you see, like they blow up overnight or something. Like you see that a lot. And a lot of the times it's someone that's been working for a long time, but then maybe like one thing really caught, and then it seems like they blew up overnight. So because then they might go like, my last. Yeah, exactly. Like my last video or before yesterday, my most viewed video is at like 500 views. But then because this one thing, now that video is at like 2 million views or something. So it is insane how it can literally go for like, can blow up overnight, really.
I also think that's something that streamers kind of harp on too much too. Like the whole blow up overnight thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't, a lot of people, I don't know if this like comes off as me sounding like rude essentially, but like, you know, there's a lot of people in the community that like, that act like they deserve it all, but don't put the work to deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think
definitely.
I think that these people really need to start just enjoying it again, because it really seems like it comes from burnout. Like we've all burnt out before, you know, like we've all hit that wall where we don't know if our stuff's good, we don't know what to do next kind of thing. And it's sad to me because like I love watching all these different kinds of people, especially people we become friends with, and it like kind of seeing them either like, I guess, not take advice or just like hit that wall and let it beat them down is just really depressing to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of them just don't take a step back, and they're stuck in the cycle of streaming 8 hours a day, and they like don't truly look at what they're doing and their habits. And I was a person that, you know, I used to think in my head like, why am I not successful? I mean, everyone probably does it, but I just had to like literally take a step back, have a talk with a couple friends, and be like, what do I need to do? And then, you know, you make adjustments and changes, and you realize, you know, there's not a true answer to content creation with success. It's truly just building habits and finding your content, you know, by experimentation, failing, evolving, you know, all these different things, but also being consistent at like learning. So like, you know, you can become successful faster if you're consistently, you know, trying to, you know, do new things and assess like where your time's going, because time management is huge in content creation. It's like an all day thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to, your mind is always working. Your body, it's not a physical, you know, labor job, but
dude, no way. Yeah, that shit it's mentally exhausting.
Mentally, it's insane. So it's really just understanding where your time is valuable and not just spending 6 hours, you know, fixing your overlays every week. Or whatever.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, you know, your overlay is not what makes your content good.
Yeah.
Like, it just isn't. You know, it's just what you do. It's the concept. It's, you know, your personality, like everything else. Like, I fell victim to that too. Like thinking that like maybe I just got to change up my alerts. Maybe I just got to make my stream look more appealing so people will click on it. But like at the end of the day, like if you've got stuff that is good, it's going to take some time, but it, you know, you will blow up eventually. And that's been my mindset about it. Like as long as I can stay consistent and, you know, the people that I have now I'm making smile, then like that's all I want. Yeah. That's all I need.
Yeah, exactly. Building that sense of community and, you know, really trying to put effort in your content rather than just making content for the sake of just being there. Like you actually produce stuff. And I think a big thing that people are nervous or scared about, or just like, it's kind of uncomfortable to try something new on stream or try a concept idea, because a lot of the first times you do it, it's not going to be the greatest. So once you continue to do it, just like being on camera, like you get more confident in your idea and you can create something out of it rather than, you know, having it fail every time. So
100%.
It's a huge, like, it's just like building your confidence is like the first step. I tell everyone that's like the first step for me was building my confidence, and then just being, you know, transparently like my full personality on stream, like truly not caring about judgment or judging myself or whatever. And then you have to get confidence in your ideas next. So
yeah, it can definitely be stressful too in that aspect.
Yeah.
Like there's still some ideas that I've got written down that I'm like, I don't think I'm confident enough, or I don't think the guys will like it that much. The chat will probably be dead during it or something like that. Yeah. But, you know, eventually I'm still going to do it regardless because I think it's a good idea kind of deal. So, but yeah, confidence is definitely key in most of this stuff, or honestly, just faking it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like confidence wise, like no one knows you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you could be the most shy person in the world, but if you act confident, people will, you know, they'll see it. They'll think you're confident. And that's realistically like, I feel like huge too.
Definitely.
Yeah. You just have to put yourself out there and be like, this is what you have to start stream. Like, this is what we're doing. This is like what's going to happen. And it's going to be a fun time. And then you just go and you give like your full effort and the idea that you have. If it fails, it fails. There's always another stream that's coming. So it's not the end of the world if an idea fails or flops.
True. Always another day.
Yep. Did you want to, let's see. Do you want to cover anything else, Sean, before we go into the rapid fire like questions?
No, I think we should go into the questions, the Twitter questions.
Oh no.
All right.
Or rapid fire, whichever one you want to do first.
We could do the one rapid fire we have, and then we'll go into the Twitter questions.
Okay, that works.
My one and only rapid fire question of the week is: what's one thing that your parents or family, someone important to you, taught you that completely changed like your outlook on life?
Oh wow. My dad, he's a musician. He always told me growing up that he'll be proud of me no matter what choice I take or do. And he said, if I don't do something I'm happy about, then I'll regret it.
That's a dope piece of advice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kudos to your dad.
Yeah, ever since then, man.
Big time.
Between art and then this stuff, they've been nothing but my biggest fans, and I'm really grateful for that.
That's dope. What about you, Sean? Any piece of advice or thing that you remember?
It's tough because like, I mean, I have gotten like little great pieces of advice like here and there. But one that really sticks out is Ukena had such a good answer to start with. So it's like, cause that's like great advice that I think every kid should hear, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that's basically the advice, right? Like you want to just tell someone that they should do whatever makes them happy and live just like a happy, fulfilling life. Like
100%.
trying to, so like that's basically the answer. It's a shame that like not everybody hears that, you know?
It's crazy, honestly.
Yeah. So with mine, I don't know if it's exactly like one piece of advice that they like sat down and told me, but I guess just something that I picked up from them just from growing up is just like, just working and always making sure that you are doing your best to make, like just to get things done, like not in just a literal sense of like to finish the job, but just doing everything that you can to make sure that everything is okay. If that makes sense. This is so general, but just like
taking care of business.
Taking care of business. Like if you have the ability to do this thing, you should do this thing and not be
100%.
Like not be too lazy or whatever, and just to make sure that you can actually get it done.
My art teachers used to say, even if you don't feel like doing it, just show up and do the work.
Yeah.
Just show up and do it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it'll be over and it'll be fine.
The one that I thought of was the one thing that my dad told me when I was younger is that a problem that you may have today or in this moment, you literally won't even remember or care about in 1 year. So why worry about it now?
That's actually amazing advice. Holy shit.
Yeah. So
depending on the problem, 99 out of 100 times, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, it depends on the problem, I guess. But in most cases, like, yeah, I would always go to my parents or whatever and be like worried about something, and he'd be like, in a year you won't even remember you had this problem, so why do you care? Like, so I always thought that was a pretty good piece of advice.
But Dad, I got a pimple on my forehead and I gotta go to school in an hour.
Yo.
Oh no. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, what's your rapid fire for the week?
Mine is, what's the best reason you skipped school as a kid? If you ever skipped school one time or multiple times, perhaps. What's the best reason?
I faked being sick for 3 days straight as a kid to play Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker in its entirety.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
In its entirety, you knocked that whole game out in just 3 days straight?
Oh yeah. My mom didn't know I was
yeah.
staying up all night, and when she found out I wasn't actually sick, I was definitely grounded for quite some time.
Oh man.
At least you beat the game.
Exactly, because then I didn't play it for a week and a half afterwards.
Right. Damn.
That's good. That's a good game. I think it's worth it too. It wasn't just some random bullshit game that ended up sucking or something. It was Wind Waker.
Wind Waker is my favorite game for that reason, actually. My favorite Zelda game. Cool.
Do you always pretend you're sick when you play a Zelda game?
Yes.
just for the nostalgia of it all.
Yeah. I got it, dude. I gotta get I got like a fucking package of cheese crackers under my bed at the time, and like if I was ever hungry, I would just munch on them. I don't know, man. It's just so nostalgic to think about for me because I was just like, I was so young.
Imagine having a video of that to like look back on. That would be like so wholesome.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't think. I mean, the fake coughing I don't think would be super wholesome, but like, Mom, I'm sick. I can't go. I got a fever. But it's just like I hold up my palm to a light and I press it against my forehead.
Yeah, there's some good moves. There's some things like that where I remember being as a kid, I'm like, oh, I've got my parents fooled. But now that I'm older, there's like no way they were actually fooled. You know, they might have just went along with it or whatever.
I really never skipped school. I didn't get the greatest grades, but I don't even remember if I ever skipped school. Like, even on senior skip day, I think the one time I missed like some piece of like school is the one time, I think I talked about it on the pod, of when the bus came, but it came from a different way because of the substitute driver. Yeah. And it was snowy and there was like ice on the ground. So they like went in a U-turn and I was like, I can catch them on the other block. So I started like 4.340 skirting to the back of my yard, and I just ate absolute dog shit on the ice, like slipped and fell right on my back. Oh no. I was in middle school and I was like, yep, not going into school today. So that's the only time I can remember.
Man.
Yeah.
For me, mine is when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out. I basically just got my mom in on it, and I was like, Grand Theft Auto 4 is coming out tomorrow and I'm staying home and playing it. So I got my sister to go to GameStop at midnight and pick it up. And she was like kind of fighting with me about it the whole time. My sister was. She's like, I'm not going to GameStop at midnight and hanging around all those nerds to pick up this dumb game, all that stuff. And then I woke up the next day and I ran downstairs at the possibility of her actually doing it. And there it was sitting there, the game. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then so my mom let me skip. Yeah, so my mom let me skip, played the game the whole day, and then I just went to school the next day, and I had so many people just in class were like, so Sean, how's Grand Theft Auto? And I was like, oh, I don't know, I was sick. And they're like, sure. Like, yeah, I bet you were. Damn. It was great. That was fun. That was a good day. I probably played it for like, I don't know, 10 or 12 hours or so that day. It was awesome.
Crazy. Good times.
Very good times.
All right. Should we jump on into the Twitter submission questions?
We shall, for sure. We got some good ones. We got a lot. It was fantastic, especially in a short amount of time. It was great.
We're going to start with the first one is from Moonshard41. And Moonshard asks, what gives him so much excitement and energy?
I just love what I'm doing, man. Like, I just love this stuff so much. So like any day that I get to do this and like just be just makes me happy. So that's where it all comes from.
As you should. That's what passion is.
Nice.
That's what passion is. So thank you, Moonsharp, for the submitted question. There's your answer. Moving on from A Crazy Hippie ZA. Why are you such an incredibly wholesome person, Ukena?
I don't even know how to answer that. I don't know.
Why are you perfect?
It sounds, I love how, I don't know, how it's worded, or I don't know, just the phrasing of the question, I guess. It makes me think like it's a bad thing. Like, why are you like this?
Why are you so nice, dude? It's annoying.
Yeah.
To me, it just, I never expected people to ever like anything I put out there. Or like, I never expected people to want to be in my chat or want to be like part of what I'm doing. So when they are, it really does blow my mind, man. It really, really moves me and makes me really happy.
Yeah, I get that. I get that same feeling too. Like whenever I put out music or like with my new album and stuff, it's just like, okay, people, like a few people might click on this, or they might like listen to a song and be like, whatever. Yeah. But then like I look at the stats after a week and it's at like 6,000 streams, and you're like, oh shit, like this could actually like is actually something, I guess, which is really cool. Just that feeling of when you realize that whatever you're doing actually clicks with people is a great feeling.
The feedback it's usually always surprising because you know what it is. It's you made it, like you're kind of numb to it.
Yeah.
But when other people see it, it's the best feeling though, when you create some content and you're like, damn, that shit was hilarious or banging. Like, that's the best feeling when you impress yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Impressing yourself is very important, I think. Because if you just think that all your stuff is just whatever, then you're either doing something wrong or you got to change your mindset or something. It's okay to be hyped for yourself.
Yeah. If you want to read the next couple, Sean.
Sure. We have, we kind of covered this maybe, but I still want to shout him out so he doesn't think we skipped over him. Leo the Bot says, what was your motivation from the beginning and how has it changed or stayed the same up until now?
So I started streaming technically 3 years ago, but like I didn't take it seriously. I just used it to record League of Legends replays.
Nice.
Because I was like, I was relatively high on the ladder and I really wanted to like make a push to get better. But over time, I started meeting a lot of people, you know, getting involved on streamer Twitter and like meeting some people like Daylights, for example. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but that man is pretty much, he's the dude who's like, who made me realize like, I want to do this stuff. Like, this is amazing. Like I want to be able to motivate others like he's motivating me kind of deal.
Yeah.
And so like last year, after moving out of my parents' house in January, I decided to like really buckle down and make as much content as I could for an entire year. And I'm really grateful for where I am because of it.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Inspiring. Here.
Vakea, possibly. Oh, thank you very much for the question, Leobot. Next question comes from Vakea. Is if you had to start streaming all over again from the very start with no viewers or regulars, would you do anything differently?
That's hard.
It is hard.
Because like, if I wouldn't go back and change anything I did, because like I wouldn't be where I am in my eyes. But like, I would have probably told myself to get to do YouTube earlier and to use that mindset of taking my streams and making them for YouTube way earlier. That's 100% what I would have told myself.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably say the same answer, honestly.
Yeah, YouTube's too insane to not do right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't mean to cut off or change the point, but like, I have a video from a month ago that blew up on TikTok, and I'm at 10,000 views on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like that would never have happened on Twitch,
right?
Because there's no discoverability and shit. So it's like, people really needed to start taking YouTube and like doing it, man.
Yeah, I agree. There's so much opportunity.
Oh yeah,
so much.
I think it's just daunting for people to like want to learn another, and like editing. Like if you hate editing that much, just literally find an editor and post as much as you can, whatever you can afford. Use your stream money for it. That's what I do.
Yep. 100%.
Next question comes from Foxy Pirate Fox 90. What is Yuki's least favorite thing about Twitch/streaming? Your least favorite thing?
The clicks.
Yeah.
Like the egos and the clicks, man.
Egos, yeah.
I can't handle egos. Like we're all in the same boat, man. Like, why do you gotta act a certain way about it? You know?
Yeah.
It just makes me not want to interact with a lot of people. Like especially lately.
Yep.
I've had to reduce the amount of people I follow and the amount of people I keep up with just because of like, kind of sounds lame in a sense, but just like, I couldn't really handle a lot of what people were saying anymore. Like all of the I'm sure you guys know, streamer Twitter is just absurd sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, egos make me sad.
It's very sad, man. It's like somebody forgets where they started and they just start treating people like shit on their posts because they are like, I don't know. They just think like they're a big deal now. And I'm just like, bro, you were literally that person like a year ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing really changes, man. Yeah. Don't let the views change you.
Nope.
That's why, like, actually, also to say something on that topic, I despise how much Twitch is, like, you benefit on Twitch for using other people. Yeah. I'm like, I've been saying it for a long time on my platforms that, like, if I do it, if I make it, it's not because I'm using people. It's because I'm going to bring the people up with me.
Right.
Like, that's just always been my thing. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Foxy Pirate, for the question. Yep. And you want to round out the last two, Mike?
Yeah, we have a quick one from Stin831. It says, can he take Kirby all the way down?
Oh, my God. Weak? He really hit me with that one, huh?
He really hit you.
You want to explain, or you want to just leave it as is?
I think leaving it as is for the best.
All right. Do you want to give an answer? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
That's my answer.
Beautiful.
And our last question is from DC the Prophecy, the homie. He says, love a good origin story. How do you find this online world? Maybe favorite or first game?
Well, I got into Twitch because of League of Legends. I played that game since season 2, which was roughly 2011, 2012.
Damn.
And I always followed.
Right, 2012.
And like I think that's back when it wasn't even Twitch yet. I think it was fucking owned 3D or whatever. I don't remember
Justin
what it was
TV.
Called. That's what it was. Yes. And like there was a player that I specifically followed named Double Lift, and I still follow him to this day. He's pretty much one of the biggest reasons I even got into Twitch. But yeah, no, League was my introduction.
Nice.
Yeah. You ever visit back on League?
Yeah, occasionally. I made a few videos of it, or like I'll like just queue up in my free time and play with some people. But not usually for stream. It's to me it's a little difficult to make my kind of content out of that game.
Yeah. I feel that.
I still have never played a round of League in my life.
I played tutorial.
It's fun with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Friends only is the only way I would play it.
Maybe someday.
It gets a huge stamp of toxicity, as I hear. Like, if people just say that's like the most toxic game.
Egos, man. People, especially in the high ladder, man. Everybody thinks they're good at the game.
And it's also one of the most popular too. So it's just I feel like by default.
Yeah.
Is there is there a huge game that is known for having a great community?
Apex.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess yeah.
But it's about to get ruined by everyone moving to it.
Oh yeah. So, the bigger it gets, the worse it's gonna get.
We gotta enjoy it while it's good, because nobody really like teabags or like emotes on your dead body and builds a 90. So as soon as that happens,
a 90 and then dances on top of it on your grave.
Yeah, when that starts happening, then you know there's new players coming in that are from
other games,
Fortnite.
Yeah. I mean, even Overwatch is pretty toxic, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, just look at XQC.
Definitely.
Any game where you got to rely on teammates and they like ego challenge other people, and
that's my biggest turnoff. That's why I stopped playing. Egos.
Valorant is a huge toxic game.
Anything Riot makes is toxic.
Dude. Yeah. They're making a fighting game right now, Project L.
Oh my god.
I know, so dude. I want to play it.
They're going to bring that whole thing to the fighting game community. Mortal Kombat already has a toxic ass community, so it's whatever.
Smash.
Yeah.
I play a lot of Smash. And,
Smash.
The Smash community is definitely something else.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
I believe that's it. That might be everything.
I think that is it. If you want to let the people know where they can find you on YouTube, Twitch, we'll have all your links down below, and you can also shout them out and tell them. But your links will be in the description. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ukenalol on every single platform, boys.
Easy.
On YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
YouTube, Twitter, Twitch,
and TikTok.
And TikTok.
Can't forget about that app.
Make sure you guys check him out. He's very welcoming, and you'll grow to like him very fast. My stamp of approval, if that means anything. But you guys should definitely check out Ukena. He's a fantastic content creator. I'm excited to see what he does with 2021. You know, coming in hot with YouTube, TikTok, and stream content. So make sure you guys check out one of his streams. Also, this was episode 71. We had a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for your submitted questions. I hope you guys enjoyed all the topics we covered and went over. And we'll see you guys on episode 72. Make sure you follow Chillin for Our Lives podcast on Twitter and all that good stuff. But thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of C4OL. We'll see you on episode 72. This was Chillin for Our Lives. Later, guys.
Bye.